class, welcome back to your online class. We have already completed Unit 3, that is Human Anatomy and Physiology. Today we will be starting Unit 2, that is Plant Physiology. Now within this unit, that is plant physiology, what is plant physiology? It's a branch of biology where you will be dealing with different parts of the plant and their functions, and what are the different processes with the help of which water, minerals are absorbed by the plants. Okay, we will be dealing with all these things in this particular unit. Today we will be starting chapter 4, absorption of roots. You all know what is root, right? And its function. So will you be able to tell me the general function of a root? What is the general function of a root? First, it keeps the plant rooted. Okay, so that even if water or wind blows, your plant is not easily removed from that particular place. It holds firmly, keeps it in one place. Okay, another function and the main or primary function is root helps in absorption of water and minerals. Okay, so these are the basic function of a root. So how is water and minerals absorbed by the root? That we will be dealing in this particular chapter. Okay, so like I told you, the basic function of a root, it's not just to keep a plant rooted in one place, but its main function is to absorb water and minerals from the soil, and from soil it is conducted to the stem, and from stem to other parts of the plant. Now why do plants need water? Okay, number one importance of water is for carrying out photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, what is it? It's a process by which plants prepare their food, and while preparation of the food in the form of glucose, okay, they require water as a raw material. Okay, so that's one of the importance. Next, second one, transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration means loss of water from the surface of the leaf. So it provides a cooling effect during a hot weather. Okay, and also acts as a helps in the suction, provides a suctional force. That means it helps in the transportation of the water to the tall plants. Okay, in order to reach the top of the plant, there is a suctional force produced because of the transpiration. Okay, another one is transportation. So along with the water, even the minerals are transported to other different parts of the plant, and minerals are very much required for the formation of the protein, different kind of enzymes. Okay, that's so water helps in transportation of all these minerals also to different parts of the plant. And another is mechanical stiffness. Okay, mechanical stiffness means in order to keep the cell turgid or in its normal form, okay, water is required. Okay, so as we know that most of your major volume of a protoplasm is made up of out of water. Okay, and in order to keep the cell extended or turgid, water is very much required. Okay, so what were the different role of the water? First one was your photosynthesis. We all know what is photosynthesis. Transpiration, providing cooling effect as well as producing the suctional force for the conduction of water to the tall trees. Okay, then we have transportation. Along with the water, even different minerals are transported, and we all know the role of minerals in case of plant. Okay, for formation of different type of protein or for formation of the enzymes. Okay, so you need minerals for that. Water is the one which helps in transportation. And mechanical stiffness, in order to keep your cells, tissues turgid, you require water. Okay, so those were the importance of water in plant. So next we will be discussing about the special characteristics of a root which helps in absorption of the water. Okay, so three special characteristics. Number one is huge surface area. Number two is higher concentration of a cell sap as compared to the surrounding soil in a root hair. And number three would be your root hair have a thin walls. So let's take each one of this in detail. So the figure that's given there, what can you see? It's a root system of a plant. Okay, so you can see that from a primary root enormous number of root hairs are arising. Okay, now because of the presence of these rootlets along with the root hairs, okay, it provides a huge surface area for the absorption of the water. Okay, from any primary root is the one which is the strong root which is emerging out, is known as primary root, and from this primary root you can see many secondary root hairs arising out. Okay, now because of this root hairs only the surface area is huge, and because of the huge surface area more and more amount of water is being absorbed by the root at a time. Okay, so this is the first characteristic of your root, which makes it efficient for the absorption of the water. Okay, now next going towards the root hairs, they have concentrated cell sap. Now coming to cell sap, what is it? Cell sap is a mixture of minerals along with the water. Water and minerals mixed together is referred to as a cell sap. So your cell sap inside the root hair, it consists of, it's very concentrated. Concentrated means more amount of minerals is present, less amount of water as compared to the surrounding soil. So what happens is, from outside to the soil, okay, water will move into the root hair by the process of osmosis. Okay, osmosis, which we will be dealing in detail later on. It's a transfer of water from a higher concentration towards the lower concentration. Here higher concentration, I am referring to it in terms of water. Amount of water is wherever it is higher, from there it will move towards the region where there is a low amount of water. So here in a cell sap inside the root hair, since water was present in a less amount because of the more amount of minerals, so what happens is your water from the surrounding soil will eventually enter the root hair. So that's the second special characteristic which makes the roots efficient for transportation or absorption of the water. Okay, now number three, root hairs have a thin wall. Okay, so the third characteristic, that is root hair have a thin wall. So your root hair are the extension of the epidermal layer of a plant. Okay, so like all the epidermal, all the cell, even this plant, or like all the plant cell, even this epidermal cell has two layer, two protective membrane. The outer one is your cell wall and inner one is your cell membrane. And as we know, cell wall is a non-living part and it's freely permeable. It allows all water and minerals to enter freely from into the cell. But you have a second layer, that is cell membrane. It's a living membrane and it allows only water to enter, whereas it restricts the entry of some of the minerals. Okay, because of which the water can easily enter the root hair. Okay, so those were the three characteristics which makes the roots efficient for absorption of the water. In our next class, we will be dealing with different process by which water is absorbed from the soil into the root. For example, osmosis, diffusion, imbibition, okay, ascent of sap. We will be discussing about all different processes in our next class. So I would like you to go through all these topics that I have already taught you, and next day I will support it with the two experiments related to diffusion and osmosis also. Okay, thank you.